Hello, my courageous, captivating Capricorns. Welcome, welcome. It is Sachi the Scorpio, and I am here to deliver your Twin Flame bonus reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And thank you so much for all of your support, Capricorn. You are number 2 for the month of April, so you will be getting the Twin Flame bonus. And you will be coming in second for the guided healing for April. And also the first 10 people that would like to go into the extended get it 50% off. But let's see. This is what came up in the cleansing ceremony. We had worth waiting for in reverse. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So it's telling me that you're growing a little bit impatient and you're taking a lot of initiative. It feels like you don't want to wait for something any longer. You're like, all right, I gotta do this. And with chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. So it seems like you are being heavily activated in order to do something and you don't want to wait any longer about this. And the reason why you're not really interested in waiting is because we have the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, and Death, okay? So the 8 of Swords coming out in reverse and the 8 of Cups, these are two 8s, right? Cycles. You know, scorpionic cycles. And it's like you're tired of being held hostage, of not knowing a piece of information, of feeling like, you know, you're constrained, you're in like a mental vice grip or some sort of like being kept out in the cold, not getting the information. You are really done with that cycle. You are also really done with feeling emotionally disappointed. Like you're always, you know, left with nothing. You have nothing left in your cups. You have nothing left to give others. And so you're really like, you know, understanding like, I'm not waiting for anything. I'm not going to be stuck in a mental harness. I'm not going to be stuck in disappointment. So you are bringing an ending to something. With the Death card here, this is scorpionic energy, right? And death is death and rebirth, right? That's what Scorpio teaches, is that it's just a transition period. And right now, as I'm recording this, we are in the first few days of Aries season, which is the new year. So happy new year, Capricorn. And it is a time of death and rebirth, right? Pisces is where the dead are laid to rest, and then Aries is when we begin anew. So it does look like you are going through some sort of transitionary period and really putting an end to something so something can change. We had trainer coming out using random receiver. So remember, trainers always indicate the other person. So someone else is already coming out pretty heavy in this read. And random receiver, I was getting that you could be talking to somebody random. This could be someone who hits you up out of the blue on your phone, like, hey, da-da-da-da-da, you know. Or, you know, someone who maybe has a new number and you don't recognize them. It has something to do with their cell phone. There may also have something to do with their heartbeats and how you are connected at the heart here. And we also had trainer using float stone. So float stone is like, you know, you're floating it with your mind. So it does seem like this person, you know, I mean, if they are not like a psychic type, then it could be that they, you know, in their mind, they use so much mental energy to kind of hold these burdens, right? Like a stone is still a lot to, you know, hold with psychic energy. So it does seem like they do have some, you know, mental burdens here. And it may be that they are, you know, reaching out to you randomly, or maybe you reach out to them randomly. Okay. So Capricorn, that's what came out in the cleansing ceremony. What we are going to do is take a look into where you are, what you are desiring out of this relationship. We'll see what is going on with the divine masculine, what their energy is. We'll see what's in the connective. And then we will, in the extended, take a look at what you can do in order to manifest your desires, how the masculine will respond, and then some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. Okay, let's get started. So, what is going on with the divine feminine? How are they feeling about this right now? Wanting to hide, heart-to-heart conversations in reverse. Yeah, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So it looks like the divine feminine is not really, you know, wanting to open their heart and have a conversation about how they truly feel right now. Let's see, what are they desiring out of this relationship? And I feel like it's kind of that random receiver. It may be that, like, you know, wanting to just talk to random people, not really wanting, okay. I feel like, okay, let's see what's going on here. Ace of Pentacles. So the feminine does want a new beginning, but something solid. Might really be focused on, yeah, might really be focused on work and coin and housing and stuff, but it's like, it feels like the feminine is not open to discussing, you know, having a heart-to-heart conversation, because the masculine hasn't done it before, until there is some sort of very solid offer, you know, from the King of Cups, which is the divine masculine energy when it comes to, you know, emoting, you know, offerings of love, offerings of emotion, coming out stuck. So it seems like the feminine's like, no, I'm not discussing my feelings until I get this physical new beginning, and the masculine, you know, saying how they feel, basically. Tell me more about this. What is the feminine desiring? Okay. Yeah, 9 of Swords and 4 of Swords in reverse. So what I'm getting is they just want this cycle to end. It feels like the divine feminine has kind of been finishing it by themselves. They are mourning the fact that it's like, you know, even if I don't get this, that's okay. I'm going to mourn over it and it's fine. You know, like, yeah, I want a new beginning, and in order to get that new beginning, the masculine has to come at me like the King of Cups and really be open to having a heart-to-heart conversation, or I am not honestly discussing my feelings. With the 9 of Swords, like, it feels like because they're already kind of in the ass end of mourning, you know, a conversation that never was, but it's like the feminine is like, you know what, either way, I'm not having this be the foundation of our communication. You know, I'm sick of how that is what it was, right? Is like, oh, okay, you know, expecting me to open my heart and have this conversation when I'm not getting the emotional stability of the King of Cups that I need. So, yeah, and it like I said, it feels like the feminine is mourning the fact that that was the foundation. Could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. What's the light energy here? What is the feminine desiring? We have Shellos using Mud Slap. Yeah, so Shellos is one of my twin flame cards, because as you can see, there's like the divine feminine, divine masculine. And so Mud Slap can indicate that there has been, it's like, you know, I mean, this is a water type, right? And mud slapping is like the feminine's wanting to kind of smack the masculine in some sort of way with some, like, you know, dirt almost, right? With this mud, and being like, no, you don't get to see, like, my waters are no longer clear for you. You know, there's some mud in there. Like, I'm not going to allow my waters to be communicated clearly. I'm not opening my heart and telling you what's in my cup. Instead, smack. Now you get some mud. Now you don't know. It says, for the most part, it makes its home along the seashore. Its color and form differ according to its habitat and quality of its food. So it could be that the divine feminine are spending more time near water, going towards places where there is water. They might be, you know, changing their color, getting some more sun, you know, and then also, you know, changing things in their habitat and changing the quality of food. So eating more like fresh food and things like that could really be a big thing for the feminine right now of what they're manifesting. What's the shadow? I feel like they're more concerned, like, okay, I'm understanding that, like, my environment and what I eat directly influences what I look like. So if I want to change the way I look, you know, not like, it doesn't feel like in a negative way of like, oh, I hate the way I look. It feels like the feminine's like, no, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to be around water. I'm going to, you know, tidy up my environment. I'm going to make sure I'm eating healthy. And like, that's how I get, you know, clear skin and things like that. So it feels like the feminine really is, you know, focusing on the divine feminine, really. With Golet using naps, yeah, so it looks like also the divine feminine is focusing on getting a lot of sleep. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the feminine feels very, I do feel this sadness, but it's more like, again, it feels like it's at the ass end of basically like, yeah, you want a new beginning, you know you have to come at me with this. You know, until then, no, you don't get to know what's going on. I'm going to focus on me, on eating well, on drinking water, you know, getting myself to look like how I want to look, and I'm going to get nap. So it does seem like the Divine Feminine really is manifesting, you know, more sleep into their lives, the ability to take naps during the day, and, you know, keeping their third eye clear. It says, the energy that burns inside it enables it to move, but no one has been able to identify this energy. So it does seem like there is some sort of energy that is within you, Divine Feminine. You might be getting messages about it while you sleep in the dream realm or the astral realm, and you know that a bunch of energy is like collecting, even though you can't really identify what you're going to do with it yet. It does feel like you're gaining momentum in some sort of way. I'm feeling a lot of power here. All right, let's see where the Divine Masculine is at. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So they might be retreating from this situation and really disconnecting. I'm hearing that there's one more in here. Children in reverse. So your love life is being affected by children. So, you know, children in reverse, it could be that they want to get away from the kids, that they want to get away from a situation, like, it could be, again, like Ace of Pentacles for me, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but Ace of Pentacles for me is also planting some sort of seed. This can be impregnation. And, you know, the need to have a solid emotional, you know, stability and have that water in order for it to germinate. And it looks like the masculine's like, nah, I'm out of here. Like, I really don't want to have kids right now. Or they could be really discontent, you know, with a situation that involves children, and they're like, I just really need to, you know, retreat from that. All right, let's see. What are they desiring out of the relationship? Page of Swords in reverse. It feels like they don't want to talk because they know it's a little bit premature. It feels like they're understanding that they're not quite evolved when it comes to communication fully. And this is on Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine end, even though it's in the Divine Masculine's energy. I feel like in the past they were that Page of Swords, just kind of swinging around their sword, saying whatever they wanted, not really caring who it hurt, who it cut. And they're like understanding that they need to retreat because they don't want to say the wrong thing or hurt at all. Because it does feel like, again, it feels like the masculine might understand the sadness of the feminine, even though the feminine is like getting over it, of like, yeah, I've already, it's like crying and crying and crying, and it's like finally the last bit of tears. Like first it was an ocean, then it was, you know, a sea, then it was a river, and now it's becoming just like a stream, you know. And so it is very much slowing down and kind of drying out. Again, it's like, you know, getting more into the mud, the earth end, and it does see like, you know, the feminine's like, yeah, come at me with a physical offering, and if it includes emotional offering, you better be grounded and you better be a king at it, basically. And yeah, the masculine is like really understanding how their communication skills have influenced this. Tell me more about it. They don't want to say the wrong thing is what I'm hearing. Coming out stuck, the Knight of Swords. Whew. But they do want this conversation to move forward. They are coming towards the feminine, but right now it's like they need to disconnect. It's like they do really have this intention of like, yeah, I'm going to come in and I'm going to say what I need to say, but they're too afraid of saying the wrong thing right now. Tell me one more. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is not a rejection. Retreating is not a rejection. They are not physically rejecting. They also don't want to be rejected by the feminine, which is why, you know, they have intention to come in. But again, they're so afraid of saying the wrong thing. They're so afraid of, you know, striking the wrong chord and getting rejected that they're being very careful. What's the light energy here? Yeah, I was going to say they might have another relationship that involves children that they're trying not to involve here. But we have Clefairy using slap and Zuelos using double hit. Yeah, so this is two separate things that you need to know about the masculine is, you know, dragon type does indicate twin flame for me. Fairy is soulmate. So, you know, we do have confirmation of twin flame stuff. but it does seem like this is dealing with the twin flame and some sort of soulmate. It's like double hit. It's like two situations in one. And as they are healing it with their soulmate, like, and this might be a soulmate. You know what I mean? That you might be activated and connected to your twin, but this person that you're dealing with right now could be a soulmate. But again, you know, like, this is two things that the masculine is dealing with. Anyway, with the slap, it's like, yeah, there's that mud slap. They got slapped, okay? And it feels like they've been kind of smacked by somebody else. And again, this is a soulmate, right? Fairy type. You do this, I do this kind of situation. Whereas twin flame is, you know, two in one soul type thing. Even though both souls are completely whole on their own, right? That's the journey. So remember that. Anyway, so with this slap, like, Clefairy is also a Pokemon that worships the moon. So they could have a soulmate in their relationship that, you know, might be a witch or something like that. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way whatsoever. It says, its adorable behavior and appearance make it popular with men and women, young and old. Its numbers are few, however. So it does look like, you know, this person is very, very popular, is what I'm getting. They might have some sort of wake-up call and are recognizing some sort of shadow. It does seem like they are, again, very popular. There might be a lot of people they're connected to, which is another reason why they want to retreat. It talks about men and women, young and old. So again, it does seem like, you know, they're dealing with a lot, but they specifically want to get away from a situation that involves children at the moment. Its numbers are few, however. Yeah, like, being a twin flame, it is very few in number, right? Like, unless you've been activated and you're on the twin flame journey, you don't really get it, right? And people doubt it and things like that. But this is one of the cases where it is very blatantly twin flame energy here. It says, after it has eaten up all the food in its territory, it moves to another area. Its two heads do not get along. Okay, yeah, so they could be getting out of a situation. Again, it could be a soulmate where they have a child with this person, or that person has a child. Because again, it talks about, you know, after it's eaten all the food in its territory, it moves on to another area. So it does seem like the Divine Masculine's kind of been fed up and had enough with this situation and is seeking some sort of different territory. You know, likely coming this way, right? And its two heads do not get along. So it's telling me that, like, it does not get along with this soulmate. And also it feels like the way the masculine is understanding the way that the feminine is behaving, right, with this mud slap, like, they're feeling that slap. If it's not by you directly, right, it's in the light. So it means that, you know, they're dealing with a feminine that's also behaving that way. So they're understanding, like, there's, you know, this is not getting along. And one is a reflection of this soulmate that they're in, you know, with. And then also it's a reflection of the connection here. So what's the shadow? Change order. Yeah, I almost thought it said change odor. So there could be, again, we saw, like, the chemistry. There could be some biochemical changes here. But Pawniard... It's funny. I was seeing someone, like, pawn a wedding ring or something, but change order. Yeah, it's like, you know, they ate all the food there and now they want to switch territory sort of thing. They're, like, done with it. They're, like, fed up, like, whatever, I'm going to go somewhere new. Again, it's like they're changing their order of what they really want. And it's in the shadow, so it does seem like the masculine is, you know, like, that's their shadow work, is changing what they actually want. And it feels like kids are no longer on the menu. It says, ignoring their injuries, groups attack by sinking the blades that cover their bodies into their prey. Ugh. Okay, so yeah, it seems like the masculine has, you know, part of their shadow thing is like, oh, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to act like, you know, I didn't get hurt. And, you know, shaking the blades that cover bodies with prey. I feel like that's like the, you know, Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Like, they do have this intention on, you know, coming in. by sinking the blades that cover their bodies into their prey. Yeah, like, I feel like in the past, right, there was this fighting sort of energy, because we see, right, the feminine's already mourning over the swords here. And it's because the masculine's understanding, like, oh shit, you know, I really did swing that around and say something stupid. And even though, you know, the masculine does want to come back in, it still is kind of that warring sort of thing. Again, they don't feel rejected. They want to move forward so that they won't be rejected. But they're pretending like, you know, words that were exchanged didn't hurt them. And that, you know, they're just focused, again, on sinking their sword into the prey of, like, I'm going to say what I want to say. So it does seem like there is a little bit of change about how they want to approach it. Yeah, I'm going to ask for one more. Tell us about this aggressiveness. Tell us about this aggressiveness of sinking the sword in. Fromantis using synthesis. Okay, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to pretend as if what has happened in the past didn't hurt them. And what they're trying to do is when they come forward and sink, you know, the sword in and get the communication across, they want to make sure that it is coming from the heart and that their heart is the one that is composing this. Okay? It says, they give off a sweet and refreshing scent. Yeah, I felt like something changed in the odor. Seriously. It says, cutie fly often gather near the tall grass where fromantis are hiding. Yeah, so cutie fly are like, you know, the flies that come when you're like Twitter-pated, you know, when Bambi during springtime, like, you know, or when like a cartoon is just like infatuated, right? There's like, you know, little buzzes or stars like going around the head, like, ooh. So yeah, there's some sort of also change in odor and scent for the masculine and how their heart is attracted to it. Because, yeah, how we had that chemistry. It really feels like there's something about smell here. And cutie fly often gather. So it does seem like they are, you know, becoming a little bit infatuated with something that has to do with the smell. All right, let's see what's in the connective. What's in the connective? Wedding in reverse. It's interesting. I saw wedding in reverse when I was shuffling as well. The situation involves marriage. So it does look like neither one is really ready for marriage or is interested in marriage. There could be a wedding that was called off, perhaps, or disappointment. Let's see. What's in the connective here? Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, there was no commitment here. There was no commitment at all. Whether it actually specifically involves marriage, because the Hierophant is like, you know, like the priest, basically, right? You would go to him in order to, you know, seek holy matrimony. Or it's really just any sort of institution that brings the divine feminine, divine masculine together. It just, union is not here. We have the sun, but it's okay. But it's okay. So it does seem like both the divine feminine and masculine are like, yeah, whatever. We didn't come together. This didn't work out. That's fine. You know, I'm looking at the brighter things. And honestly, I mean, feminine, again, it does seem like, you know, you've been mourning for a while, but you're focused on you. Like, yeah, I'm going to, you know, take care of me. And again, it might be because you're drinking more water and eating healthier is why your scent has changed. Which is why the masculine is like, you know, retreating in order to make sure that he's not saying something or doing something stupid that's going to get him rejected. So it does seem like a lot of positive energy. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of like hate or anger. Yes, there is a, you know, lack of clarity of what the divine feminine is bringing in, but it doesn't necessarily look like there's, again, like hate or anger or anything like that. Like, yeah, the masculine is admitting like, yeah, we're not really getting along. But let's see. What's the light energy? Tentacle, sludge, shock in reverse. Yeah, again, so it's not like you're trying to sludge each other up or like shock each other emotionally. And I feel like for both of you, this isn't too big of a surprise at what has happened. Kind of like, yeah, you know, I'll just, you know, carry on and I'm okay. So yeah, I feel like you're both playing it cool. Tentacle, you're both definitely playing it cool here. It says they can be found lying dehydrated on beaches, but they are often still alive. When soaked in water, they will revive. Yeah, so again, it feels like you both are pretty cool about this. Like, yeah, the Divine Feminine didn't get their emotional offering, and the Divine Masculine, it doesn't seem like they're very saturated with water either, right? We didn't get any water or cups for them. But it feels like both are kind of okay without the, you know, emotional exchange right now. And they know, right, like, the emotion's still alive here. You know, they know that. You know, it's just laying on the beach, sort of, after, you know, the depths of Pisces season, right? Now we've kind of beached ourselves. And it's like, yeah, I know, like, eventually I'll be rehydrated here. Let's see, what's the shadow? Coming out stuck, we have trainer center. So it is going towards the feminine. So it does look like both the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, like, have someone that is helping them train. This could be boxing, this could be weight training, this could be any sort of professional training. And it did feel like a masculine is coming towards the feminine. So feminines, you might be meeting someone who's gonna, you know, help you work out again, because it does seem like you're kind of focused more on you, like sleeping good, working out, you know, eating good, drinking water. So yeah, it does feel like that is happening. All right, like I said, in the extended, we are going to take a look into what you can do to manifest your desires here, which ultimately does look like you want that Ace of Cups with, or I'm sorry, the Ace of Pentacles with the King of Cups, which is like an Ace of Cups, right? Some sort of love offering. But it's like you want the love offering and the pentacle, right? And the seed and the moolah and the house and the this. So yeah. So yeah, we'll see what you can do to manifest your desires. Then we'll see how the masculine will energetically or physically respond. And then we'll look into some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. Let's see what moon wants to take us into the extended. And like I said, the first 10 people will get 50% off for the extended reading. We have your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. Okay, so we will do, for the 50% off, we will do moon as your word, Capricorn. So all caps moon will be the promo code for 50% off. But yeah, your commitment is being tested. And we see that, right? There's some sort of, you know, higher commitment that was kind of broken off. The feminine doesn't want to speak about their feelings and the masculine has retreated. And this is committing, you know, commitment is being tested on both ends, it feels like. So yeah, let's take a look in the extended, Capricorn. And if we part ways here, good luck with the situation. I'm sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah!